Yeah,
Do you know
everyone
much
I
about
talk
Disney?
to, I mean, this is my childhood, so
Sure.
I have a decent understanding.
So I understand that Matt Brown and his friend were the guys that were, I don't know if they created all the questions or if they were just the moderators, but they also do a podcast called Beers and Ears, and it's all Disney conversation, so that should be kind of cool.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, I heard some of the questions were difficult. Like, things that you kind of think are easy, but like, what hand?
7 dwarfs.
Say that again?
Name the 7 dwarfs.
Okay.
Oh,
Sneezy, sleepy, grouchy, grumpy.
there's Doc.
Doc? That would be the one that I would have missed.
The difficult part is that most of you can only think of 6 out of the 7. And even if you name them in a different order, you can
Can't
still only
think.
get to 6.
Huh.
Fun fact.
Well, what are the 7?
Doc is the 7th.
Bashful is the one that we forgot.
Bashful? I didn't know that was a bashful.
All right. But I also heard, like, what hand did Captain Hook have cut off?
His right hand.
Was it?
I think so.
And when
I'm
you
pretty
think
sure it was
about
his right hand.
What color was the house in Up?
Yellowish?
Okay. I heard another question, something like, there are 7 songs, Disney songs that have won awards.
Oh, yeah. I
Like
wouldn't be able to do that
officially-
one.
Anyway, so that was a good night. It looked like it had a really good turnout.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
You guys, like and subscribe us because that gets the word out. And if you're on Facebook, share so that your friends see this. I haven't shared yet. I need to share. I will do that as soon as the pre-show
we
is
start.
over. And let us know that you're here. So you can either text. What's that number? Can you read it?
815. Oh, 855-2011.
wrong one.
Oh, that's the give number.
It's on the screen. 855-465-2720.
That's
There we
it.
go.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm working so many hours and my brain is just not functioning. Do you ever feel like that? Because, whew. And also, so that text message goes to like techie people.
Yeah.
We don't know that you're here, so let us know that you're here. No.
In the comments.
In the comments, like text your name, tell us where you're watching from, and tell us what your favorite Disney movie is. That would be fun.
It's a good tip.
What's your favorite Disney movie?
Definitely Cars.
Cars? Cars is Disney?
Yeah.
That's not like Tri-Stone,
No.
Tree-Stone.
No, it's made by Disney.
Huh.
Yeah. Definitely the original Cars, though.
Okay. I think I'm going to go Beauty and the Beast or Little Mermaid.
Also good movies.
Yeah. I don't know. Did you see Moana? Is that what it is? The new
Yeah.
one? What's the new one?
Oh, the new one?
Bruno
Encanto.
Encanto. Have you seen that?
I have not.
Okay.
It's on repeat
watched-
at our house, though.
Is it really?
It is.
And then I heard that song, We Don't Talk About Bruno, is like the most popular Disney song ever. Would you agree? Or is that just media hype? Trying to get it to be the most?
I feel like it's definitely up there. I don't know if it's number 1, but it's definitely like top 5.
I'm pretty sure that Frozen.
Frozen, wow. That was a while ago.
Anyway, guys, we have a great service today. I didn't get here early enough for like the pre-music, but I've heard that one of the songs
good.
is incredible.
Yes.
So be ready. The other fun thing, you guys, this is fun. This is how my mind works. Dave gave me his sermon notes, and part of it, sorry, order of service, and then part of it is the Gal prayer, meaning like the Galatians prayer, but it's Gal, and then in it we say, I am a son of God. It's the Gal, like the girl prayer,
Yeah.
but I'm a son. So if you guys watched last week, you'll understand that.
Yeah.
That's pretty fun. All right, guys, enjoy worship. We will see you at the end. And
Have a good service.
words. We'll see you at the end.
Crazy right now, and like, let's stand up and actually greet each other. How about that? Say hi to one another. All right, here we go. I'm headed to the place where the rivers flow. I'm headed to the place where the streets are gold. Oh, my soul. Oh, my soul. This I know. This I know. You won't need no money. You can't bring your fame. Soon the day is coming. We'll see him face to face. Choirs be singing, saints on bended knee. Angels be dancing, we will all be free. And God in all his glory, as far as you can see. One look at you and oceans part. One look at you can steal my heart. I lift my eyes to see that help is on the way. Help is on the way. One look at you and I am home. One look at you, I'm not alone. I lift my eyes to see you here with me again. It changes everything. In your eyes, I see love that never dies. And you're that joy down in my soul, locked in my bones. I'm coming alive, now I see you. Now I see you. One look at you and I'm enough. One look at you and I'm enough. I lift my hand and you smiling over me. Your smile, it sets me free. I see fire in your eyes. I see love that never dies. And you're that joy down in my soul, locked in my bones. I'm coming alive, now I see you. Now I see you. In your heart with me is burning, so my heart will keep returning to my first love. You're my first love. I'm dancing in your glory, and this dance will be my story. You're my first love. You're my first love. I see fire in your eyes. I see love never dies. You're that joy down in my soul. I'm with my bones. I'm coming alive. Now I see you. Now I see you. Now I see you. Now I see you. Now I see
Worship today. Go ahead, grab a seat. Glad to have you here. Those of you who don't know me, my name is David Gadini, pastor here on staff. Just give it up for Steve, the band, all the techs, everyone that helped lead us this morning. Thank you, guys. So, if you would do us a favor, pull out your phones, whether you're at home or here in person, and text the word HERE to 855-465-2720. Give it to you one more time, 855-465-2720. We'd just love to make a brief face touch with you this morning. And on top of that, if we can be praying for you, text the word prayer to 855-465-2720. Exact same number. We would love to be praying for you this week. If you are struggling with something, facing something, asking God about something, or just looking to thank Him in the midst of something or give Him praise. And if you'd like us to pray in person, our elders will reach out to you on that, and you could even do that too. So anyone make a Disney trivia night on Friday? Anyone do it? All right, so big shout out to the Phantasmics who took first place. Right? We got the Lieber team over here who won, and the good news is you guys won an all-inclusive expense paid to Disney World for 5 days, so way to go, rock on that. See Gwen Johnson afterwards to collect your prize. All right? Let's give it up for the losers. And to celebrate our losers today, you can fund and sponsor the all-expense-paid trip to Disney World for the winning team. But good news, God loves losers. So embrace your loserdom here this morning and own it in its full array. Hey, listen, because we are losers, we have Ash Wednesday coming up this Wednesday. And Ash Wednesday is a day for losers. It's a day for people who die. It's a day for people who sin. It is a day for people who fail and fall short of the glory of God. It is the beginning of a 40-day season called Lent. It is a season of time that Christians, for literally centuries, have set aside to go within our Christian walk, within our walk with Christ, within our journey with Him. It's important to remember that we need to repent. And it's important to remember and reflect on the fact that we're broken. And it's important to kind of live for a while in a time of not denying our mortality or ignoring it, but facing again anew the corruption that lives within our heart. That's what the season's all about. So it sounds like good times, right? But it is. It is, because I'll tell you, we all know it at one point or another. We all sense it at times. And the world does a really good job of trying to help us ignore it, deny it, dismiss it, rationalize it, or medicate it. This is a time when we get to own it. And what Ash Wednesday is about is a time we come together to own it to its core. To just come and not pretend. To just come and say, Lord, here I am with nothing to offer and nothing to please you. Here I am, broken, failed, sinful, loser. Before your throne, and knowing that you love me anyway, knowing that you forgave me, knowing that you want to be with me, knowing that you've got a plan for me and a purpose for me. Come on out this Wednesday and worship with us. It's at 6 o'clock. Yeah, you can go back. It's not that. It's at 6 o'clock, and we're not doing dinner or anything like that. Traditionally, it's been a day that Christians have fasted on. You choose to do that. That's your own business. But there is something to that spiritual practice. If it's kind of lost a place in your life, maybe consider it. But we're going to come worship at 6 o'clock, and there is childcare available, so parents will have the rock open for infants through 5-year-old, and truth be told, even some of the older kids as well, if they need a place and aren't really ready for this. I'm going to ask your help with something today, though, is when the service is done, we got to do some things to kind of like strike the sanctuary and get it ready. If you're willing to maybe stick around for about 10 minutes after the service today, if you're here in person today, we'll give you some directions about how we're like resetting things up in here. And many hands make light work, right? If you can kind of like stick around and help with that, we'll give you some guidance on what that looks like. So this Wednesday, 6 o'clock, we got it? We're good? Fantastic. All right, next slide, please. We next Sunday, or rather next Saturday, forgive me, we have a workshop that's happening here at Fellowship of Faith at 10 o'clock, specifically designed for parents who have minor children, are in custody, if you will, of minor children. It's weird to say own minor children, but you know what I mean. You know, your kids are under the age of 18. The workshop is all about protecting them. And what I mean is legally protecting them should something catastrophic, tragic, or unexpected happen to you as mom or dad. Who will your children go with? And is it just up here, or is it out here for other people to see and follow? How will you provide for them? Not just in the short term, but for college and things like that. It's about getting that all set up. What happens even if you have a child and something happens and you're not there, or they turn 18 and now HIPAA doesn't allow the medical industry to talk to you, and how do you still keep that going then? This workshop is all about that kind of stuff, wills and trusts and custodianship and powers of attorney, you name it. So parents, I just got to encourage you, if you have children under the age of 18 and you have not set this stuff up yet, let's hope and pray that you never need it. But let's not live as though it can't happen. Come on out to this, 10 to 11:30. We'll have brunch going on for you. There will be childcare provided at this as well. You can sign up either at the table here that you'll find at the coffee house by the front door, or you can sign up at our website, fellowshipoffaith.org. It's right there on the homepage. Just like to get a count so we know how to prepare. Encourage you coming out for that. Finally, looking to give an offering today, 7 ways to give here at Fellowship of Faith. You can read about more on all of this also on our website. Go to the giving webpage at fellowshipoffaith.org. Pretty self-explanatory from there. Just thank you to those of you who keep the ministry funded. We are 100% funded and supported by you. And thanks for what you do together to make this happen. God is doing stuff here. Would you agree? And I don't know about you, but I've been so impacted by this church, and my family has been impacted by the church, and what you give makes that happen. So rock on. Give a hand to the givers here today. All right? And let's roll into Galatians.
Good morning, I'm Matthias Brown. This is Galatia News. Today's story, Paul acts like a mom. Signing off for now, this is Galatia News. I'm Matthias Brown. Have a good one.
Paul goes full on mom today. We're at Galatians 4, verse 8. For those of you who are new with us today, we are going through this amazing, incredible letter you'll find in the New Testament, in the Bible, called Galatians. And it's really about the heart of what it means to have a relationship with God, and speaks against the biggest misunderstanding people have about a relationship with God. And today we hit this point at 4, verse 8, where Paul just goes full on mom. Let me explain to you what I mean. Moms seem to have this unique ability, and I don't understand it because I'm not a mom, but they seem to have this unique ability that when they are disciplining, scolding, correcting, punishing, if you will, and they're doing it verbally, they can pull out of this secret arsenal every dirty trick in one continual flow of thought, from like threatening to wooing to sympathizing to identifying to coercing to begging to expressing love, all in one narrative flow. It's like you are being assaulted from every single angle, and they do it so effortlessly. It's like witnessing a symphony at play. I mean, have you ever experienced this? Have you ever lived through this with your mom? Yeah, we have. We can admit it, right? Moms, you know what I'm talking about. And I don't know how you do it. Because it's like, I ask myself, is this like something, is it like genetically hardwired? You just like instinctually know how to do this? Or is it secret wisdom that's passed down from mother to daughter that cannot be shared with a Y chromosome on pain of death? I don't know. But Paul has seemed to pick up on this in one way or another. And like an exasperated mom who's at the end of her ropes with kids who just don't get it or just won't listen. It's like he's throwing up his hands. And he is pulling every mom trick out of the book to try to woo, win, correct, help these Galatians to see, to get them, to listen to him. That your relationship with God is not about following commands and rules and being a good person. It's not about what you do. It's about what God has done for you in Christ. Pick up with me at Galatians 4, verse 8. I'm going to pop this on the screen. And I want to show you how he moms them through this section. He opens it by saying, "Formerly when you did not know God, you were slaves to those who by nature are not gods. But now that you know God, or better, are known by God, how is it that you are turning back to these weak and miserable principles?" How is it that you're turning back? How is it, guys, that you're going back to what we talked about again and again? Do you wish to be enslaved by these people? Do you really want them to have control over you? Do you really want to live your life this way? You hear Mom coming out of this, right? Right? He goes on. I'm just afraid for you. I'm just afraid for you. No, you know what? Maybe it's my fault. You know what? I've wasted my time, 18 years. This is on me. No, honey, I'm begging you. Please, learn from me. Learn from me. Come on. I've raised you right. I've showed you how to do it. Be like me. Don't you want to be like your mom? You know, I'm trying to empathize with you here. I get what it's like to be in your shoes. I'm meeting you halfway. I've been there. I've been like you, right? Do you know that I've been exactly where you've been before, right? You know, you have done me no wrong. I'm not here to get back at you. This isn't revenge. I'm not paying it back on you. No. You've treated me so well. You've been such a good son. You've been such a good daughter. Even though my illness was a trial to you, even though you've had to put up with me as your mom, you've never treated me like this before. No, you've always treated me well, right? Oh my gosh, right? I think Paul was a woman. Are your life choices really making you happy? Is this really working out for you? I am not your enemy. I am not against you. I'm not trying to hurt you by what I'm telling you right now. And I got to tell you, these new friends of yours, I don't think they're good for you. I see what you're like when you're around them, and they're not up to any good. Trust me on this. They are trying to get between us, right? Oh my gosh, can't you see? You know, it's fine to be with them, but don't you see that you're a different person when you're around them? No, you've got to be you. You can't let them change you or influence you. You can't be a different person when you're in their midst. Oh, come on, honey, my dear children, come here. Come here. Come here, let mama give you a hug. All right? And then he pulls out the ultimate mom card at the end. Don't you forget who brought you into this world. I went through 20 hours of labor with you. Do you want to see the stretch marks? And this, what you're putting me through now, oh my gosh, it's worse. I wish I didn't have to talk to you this way. But I am utterly perplexed. How I wish we could just talk like reasonable, civil people. That you would just listen and it didn't have to come to this. I am perplexed by you. That is a mom. Paul is pulled out every mom card in the book. And like an exasperated mom who just can't get through to her kids, he's throwing up his hands, perplexed, beside himself, angry, frustrated, worried, afraid, feeling like a failure. Because when those who you are closest to are doing things that are destroying their life and faith, you play every card that you have, don't you? Moms often don't want to be that kind of mom. God does not want to be that kind of God. But when those you love just aren't listening, you will say virtually anything to try to get your attention. That's what Paul's doing. And that is what Galatians is all about. The Galatians were enslaved. No, they're not literal slaves. At least it doesn't seem to be. I'm not saying they were actual slaves in the Roman Empire, but they were metaphorically enslaved to a pattern of life, a way of thinking that went at odds with what God had showed them in Christ and Paul had made clear to them. Better put, I like saying it this way, the Galatians were institutionalized. Now, let me explain what I mean by this. He writes, you know, there was once upon a time when you didn't know God, and you were slaves to other things, because we're all owned by something. We are, more on that later. But when you did not know God, you were slaves to those who are by nature not gods. But now that you know God, or better put, are known by God, because it's about what God does, not what we do, how is it that you're going back to the old way? How is it that you're going back to this old life that Paul calls slavery? These old habits, these old patterns, these old ways of thinking and living and feeling. Why, when you have been set free, are you going back there? You know what I mean. We all have the tendency to do this. We come across something, we see a new way of living, a new way of life. It's better. We come to learn something, to believe something, and it changes perspective and trajectory. But it doesn't mean that the old way just simply goes away and dies somewhere. No, it's like it's still over there with a gravitational pull trying to bring us back. You know what I mean? We can call it addiction. We can call it bad habits. We can call it recidivism. We can call it the Stockholm effect. There's 1,000 manifestations for this that you will see people do this with. We've all been there. If you've ever had that moment where you say to yourself, I did it again. Even though you vowed you wouldn't. Even though you know it's fundamentally not good, it's actually destructive. And despite this resolution of will to never do it again, you find yourself pulled back into its draft, right? I did it again. The Galatians were institutionalized. I love this way of talking about it, and I'm going to show you a video clip in a moment to explain what I mean. It's from, for me, what's one of my favorite movies of all time, and Tony Theismann's apparently too, called The Shawshank Redemption. Have you ever seen it? People are even cheering for it. All right. Those of you under the age of 30, watch it. I might even go so far as to say it's top 10 movie, if you allow me to include trilogies as one. Absolute powerful movie about a person who is imprisoned and the effect that prison has on the prison population. The clip I'm going to show you in just a moment comes on the heels of a man named Brooks. Brooks has spent over 40 years, 50 years actually, I think, at the prison at Shawshank. And he's finally come up for parole. It sounds like good news, but he won't have it. He's afraid. He has a breakdown. He has a breakdown so bad that he takes a shank to one of his friend's neck, willing to do anything to get the parole removed so he could say, who would ever want to stay in prison? And yet it's the life he came to know. As a young man, became a part of the institution. And now as an old man, being asked to change. Change doesn't always come so easy, does it? Even if change is for the better and for the good. This clip I want to show you, it's some of the inmates reflecting on this. It kind of speaks to me, it really does, about this tendency we have to go back to old patterns, bad habits, addictions, if you will, to former and poorer ways of thinking and living. Let's roll the film.
I just don't understand what happened in there, that's all.
It's just institutionalized.
Institutionalized my...
The man's been in here 50 years, Hayward. 50 years. This is all he knows. In here, he's an important man. He's an educated man. Outside, he's nothing. Just a used-up con with arthritis in both hands. Probably couldn't get a library card if he tried. You know what I'm trying to say?
Fred, I do believe you're talking out of your...
You believe whatever you want, Floyd. But I'm telling you, these walls are funny. First you hate them, then you get used to them. Enough time passes, you get so you depend on them. That's institutionalized.
You can never get like that.
Oh, yeah? Say that when you've been here as long as Brooks has.
They send you here for life. That's exactly what they take. Part that counts, anyway.
The Galatians had become so used to trying to please God by their own efforts and be accepted by God by what they do, that even when they heard the good news that it's not about what they do, but what Christ did for them, there is still this drift back to the old patterns, the old beliefs, the old ways. They're institutionalized. Because when you live your life thinking that your relationship with God is dependent on you, it doesn't just go away because someone tells you good news. And this is what Paul is railing against, calling them back against. He says in this section, become like me, for I became like you. This is not some egotistically driven statement. What Paul is saying is this: you're a Gentile. I'm a Jew. But as a Jew, I'm not even trying to get right with God by what I do. Do you remember Galatians chapter 2? We who are Jews by birth and not Gentile sinners know that a man is not justified by the works of the law, but by faith in Jesus Christ. So we too have put our faith in Jesus Christ so that we may be justified by faith in Christ and not by observing the law, because by observing the law, no one will be justified. I am a Jew. You are a Gentile. And yet, despite being a Gentile, you are still trying to get right with God like a Jew. You're trying to do it through the works of the Mosaic law. But even me, who am a Jew, am not trying to do it that way. Become like me. Learn from me. Learn from me who is in thicker than you. That it's about what God does, not what you do. Become like me. I've become like you. I don't live like a Jew because I know it is not dependent upon the Mosaic law. I know it is not about what I do. Maybe put another way, what Paul is saying throughout this letter and in this section can be reduced to this one phrase. You need to reject religion and embrace Jesus. Understood correctly, this is the thrust of Galatians. Religion, from one perspective, can be defined on what we do to draw closer to God, get up to God, appease the gods, become one with God, find enlightenment of God within us, or any number of manifestations that different cultures and religions will speak of it today. But it's all unified by one central idea. What is it that I have to do? It assumes that there is a separation, that God is here and I am not, and it is up to me to get where God is. But have you ever realized how Christianity is very different than that? That the message of the Bible is actually the exact opposite of that? That it is not about us going up, but God coming down? That God did not bring people up to heaven, but came down to earth? That God did not make us into gods, but he became a man? Because Christianity is not about what religion means from that certain perspective. It's not about what we do. It's about what God does for you. What Paul is saying to the Galatians is you need to start rejecting religion in your life. You need to walk away from it. These systems, these rules, these things you think you've got to immerse yourself in to somehow be pleasing to God or accepted by him or numbered among his people. Oh, Galatians, you're going back to these weak and miserable principles, he says, enslaved by things that he even calls gods or idols, if you will. Because religion actually is that. From this perspective, an idol. Let me explain this to you. Let me flesh this out. The Galatian world, the Roman world, it was rooted in paganism. An idea that it is up to me to placate or appease the gods. What do I have to do to win their favor or get them off my back? The belief system among the pagans of the time, and of course today as well, is that there was a manifestation of different gods and spirits and divine entities that influenced and controlled different aspects of the world. And while none of them was really all powerful, all of them were more powerful than us. And at some fundamental level, they weren't really concerned with humanity. At best, they tolerate us and at worst, we tick them off. And so the entire religious persuasion of the day simply revolved around this. What do I have to do to get them to do something for me? Or what do I have to do to buy them off, to get them off my back? Kind of like the mafia. They're not all powerful, but you don't really want to be on the wrong side of them. And if you want something from them, they're not going to give it freely. If you think about the pantheon as the mafia, a farmer who wants his crops to grow might go and give sacrifice to Baal, the storm god, so he would send rain. A new mom, or one that's expecting, might go and give sacrifice to Artemis, the virgin huntress, so she wouldn't be offended by her sexual activity and therefore strike her down in childbearing, or maybe strike her child down too. You lived to win their favor or stave them off. But the gods were not just things like Baal and Artemis, Zeus and Apollos. These personifications, if you will, they could be anything: power, fame, money, love, success. Because anything that we seek and make central to our life becomes an idol, if you will, a god, if I can call it that way. And what we do in service to it is by nature worship itself. Now the Jews abhorred idolatry. And the Jews that were coming, these Christian Jews that were coming and misleading the Galatians, they abhorred idolatry too. But Paul is speaking to something more insipid, a covert idolatry that often is embraced and wrapped in religiosity, because religion can become your idol too. Because if you base your life on seeking God for the purpose of trying to win His favor or buy Him off, you have stepped away from the one true God and have created a false image of Him instead. And whatever anxiety or need or want or drive that's sending you down that road for that end can become an idol to you too. And this is what the Galatians were doing. They were elevating the Mosaic law, be it circumcision or purity laws, or even just the ethical way in which they would live, and centering their life in it. Their life in it as the sum, total, and core of what it meant to be close to God, loved by God, near by God, accepted by God, and turning God into an idol and practicing a strange, perverse form of idolatry instead. It's easy to do. It's so easy to do. And I find it is just as easy for the religious as the irreligious. Sometimes the religious are the worst idolaters of all, who, thinking that they have cast off other things, have yet nonetheless traded the one true God for the power of their own practice and spirituality. And it can be all the more dangerous because an irreligious person knows that they're far from God. But a religious person deludes themselves into thinking that what they're doing is truly God-honoring. And Paul comes out at this point in the letter with every card he can play. Why can't you see this? Why can't you understand this? Why can't you come to grips that a relationship with God has nothing to do with you? It is what Christ has done for you. Why are you going back to these weak and miserable principles? Why are you being enslaved all over again? It's like someone who's been released from prison, going back to the jailer and saying, lock me up, I want to spend another 50 years, even though they could be free. Who would do that? I'll tell you. You could do that. And me. Because new ways of thinking don't always equate to new ways of living. And old habits don't die that easily. And for those of us who lived with a mindset that it was up to us to get right with God, it's up to me, it's going to reach out for you. Again and again, it's easy to go back to that place. And if you hear anything from this letter of Galatians and anything from me today, it's a warning, an exasperation, a pleading, a wooing, a coercing, a begging, if you will, to base your life in what Christ has done, not what you have to do. I want to wrap this up with a video today from a guy named Jefferson Bethke. Some of you may have seen this. It's come out several years ago, but it speaks to this just so spot on. Hopefully, the way he puts it can give you some lasting encouragement in what this message of Galatians that you see here is getting at today. Here we go.
What if I told you Jesus came to abolish religion? How Jesus and religion are on opposite spectrums. See, one's the work of God, but one's a man-made invention. See, one is the cure, but the other's the infection. See, because religion says do, Jesus says done. Religion says slave, Jesus says son. Religion puts you in bondage, while Jesus sets you free. Religion makes you blind, but Jesus makes you see. And that's why religion and Jesus are two different clans. Religion is man searching for God. Christianity is God searching for man, which is why salvation is freely mine and forgiveness is my own, not based on my merits, but Jesus' obedience alone. Because he took the crown of thorns and the blood dripped down his face. He took what we all deserved. I guess that's why you call it grace. And while being murdered, he yelled, "Father, forgive them. They know not what they do." Because when he was dangling on that cross, he was thinking of you. And he absorbed all your sin and he buried it in the tomb, which is why I'm kneeling at the cross saying, come on, there's room. So for religion, no, I hate it. In fact, I literally resent it. Because when Jesus said, "It is finished," I believe he meant it.
the king, gone against the crown, saying, oh no, you've done it now, time to feel the fire. Rumors spreading around, how could you think he would stay down, saying rumors spreading around. shall prosper, but don't tread on me. No weapon formed against me shall prosper, but don't tread on me. No weapon formed against me shall prosper, but don't tread on me. No weapon formed against me shall prosper in Jesus' name. Get on out of here, get on up and leave. Ain't no devil gonna tread on me. He's choking on the blood that ran down the tree. Ain't no devil gonna tread on me. Get on out of here, get on up and leave. Ain't no devil gonna tread on me. He's choking on the blood that ran down the tree. Ain't no devil gonna tread on me. Ain't no devil gonna tread on me.
Look at these last lines. Look at these lines. Give me the prayer. I am a son of God. I am clothed in Christ. I am Abraham's seed. I am an heir. It is a war cry against every ounce of religiosity and idolatry that seeks to suck us into slavery, to a relationship with God based on me. These are not just words Paul is saying on a page. They're fight. They're defiance. They are a statement against the jailer and enslaver who seeks to take hold and capture of our hearts again. Own them, use them, and speak them into every ounce and every moment and every inclination of your heart to go back to the old ways again. I am a son of God. I am clothed in Christ. I am Abraham's seed. I am an heir. And may the power and might in victory of what God has accomplished in you root you in that truth, in that faith, and in that freedom as a son, as seed, and as heir. God bless you. Thank you for coming today. Live in that grace.
I can feel the winds, they try to shake me. I will not be moved. My feet are on the ground.
Welcome back, guys. All right, so if you didn't know, I'm married to Dave. I've heard, I think I said this already another week. I've heard probably every one of his sermons, except for maybe like 5.
Yeah.
Okay, and I've heard them multiple times. He has gotten so good through this Galatians. Okay, what grade are you in?
I'm a junior in high school.
Okay, Shane, did you listen to the service?
I did.
Did
It
you
was
like
probably my
it?
favorite service today.
From our red.
Dave is just shining through this Galatians
Yeah.
service. And I realize that it's not about him, but his preaching has gotten so... I'm blown away.
Yeah.
I'm blown away.
This has probably been my favorite series for the ones I've been here for. It's
And you guys who have friends who are like, they've gotten burned by the church, they don't want to have anything to do with the church, they should come or like listen to this whole Galatians series, because I've learned so much. Like the whole part about Paul is like, become like me. And I always used to think, what an egotistical jerk. I mean, I never liked Paul. Going through this series, the more I learn about Paul, I'm like,
changes your perspective.
Oh, I was wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not what he meant at all.
Yeah.
I think this has been fantastic.
Yeah, it's definitely up the top, like my favorite series right now.
Yeah.
And like today especially, it was just like pulling the mom card a lot. It's just
pulling them. That was hilarious.
That was, but it was really relatable for me. Just like,
it's like. So, Shane's mom is sitting right behind him. So let me ask you this. Let's see if is Grandma like that too?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes she is.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely like you're changing with like the people you're with. Like that's one I've heard before. And it's just a lot of relatable things from today.
Awesome. See, now my mom was not like that. She could just go, oh, Tina, and that would crush me. I still think about it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I let my mom down, and it's like 40 years later.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I am with my kids, just like.
Yeah, well, like she wants what's best for me, and I want what's best for me too. But like sometimes, like I'm not the first one to see it, so it's good that she points it out.
That's actually like on live stream for now and forever, so that will come back to haunt you.
Yeah.
Oh no, I blocked my notes. Hang on.
I put that in my mom card arsenal.
Mom card arsenal.
Yes.
Nice. Shane said that. Yeah, all right. Let me see my notes here. Hey, 21.6 The Net listeners, we're glad you're with us. Woo woo. We also have questions you never thought you could ask in church on Wednesdays, which is another podcast on 21.6 The Net. Do you listen to that one?
I listened to a couple of them.
Yeah. And it's basically text in your questions. Any question?
Get the answer.
Yeah, it's good. Wednesdays at 12:30 to 1:30.
Yeah.
All right. Galatian news. That was hilarious. Paul acts like a mom. That's it. And everyone's just like, what?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Music today was really good, too. Oh, Shane, I wanted to ask you something. Let me find my note. Maybe. They cut a lot out of the service, and I wasn't ready.
Today was really fast.
It was really fast. And I know that Dave is really good at feeling the temperature and saying, okay, we don't need to go into this long talky stuff. Let's just let this message.
Yeah, he's good at judging, like if he's gone too long or if it's like not long enough yet.
I wrote notes and I can't read my writing. One of the points today is, reject religion, embrace Jesus.
Yeah.
I know that's kind of become a popular thing lately.
Yeah, people are going based off of their religion, their different views, but they aren't actually talking to Jesus.
And the whole idea of, what do you have to do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do to make myself right with God?
Yeah.
And Paul's whole message is, no. It's not Paul's message. It's Jesus' message. That's not right.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about some of you guys that I've seen on the live stream, like Barb and Joanne and Jean and Leslie. That message that it's not up to us, that it's up to what God does, what Jesus does for us, that's got to bring such hope.
Yes.
Just peace in a time that I know you guys are kind of struggling. And, listen to that and soak up that message, because it's not about what we do. It's not about what our loved ones do. It's what God does for us. It's what Jesus gives to us because he loves us.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys.
Yeah, he's going to give us what we need.
What hope we have.
Yeah.
Oh. What else do we got? Have you seen the movie Shawshank Redemption?
I have not.
It is so good.
It looked good.
It is a really good movie.
Yeah.
And I think it aged well. You guys, have you seen Shawshank? Did it age well? What's interesting about it is it's also a short story that Stephen King wrote.
Yeah.
And so I didn't know this. And so I saw the movie. And then years afterwards, I was reading, it's a book called Different Seasons by Stephen King. And it's four or five short stories. And I'm reading the story because it's not called Shawshank. I forget what it's called. I'm like, this story is really familiar.
Yeah.
It was weird, but it's great movie, great story.
Yeah, just the clip they pulled out from the movie helped tie in with the message really well.
It's so easy to become institutionalized.
It is.
And this is what I know. This is what I'm going to do. And the whole idea of the addiction of knowing,
yeah,
pulling you back in. I know better in my head that this is the better way to live. I mean, shoot. Last summer, I did like the whole low carb, exercise all the time. Yeah. Felt so much better. I was sleeping at night. I never sleep at night. Low carb, low sugar. I was sleeping at night. And now I just thrown it all out the window.
Yeah, like when quarantine started, I started like, there wasn't anything that I could do to like stay in shape. So then I started just like going out like morning runs and everything. And then now that like we've started to open up more, like I've been going out more, but not following like my workouts. I've just been like going out with friends and sitting around. It's just something I want to get back into, but it's just like, it's hard to.
And what's so amazing about Jesus, like, okay, start now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You don't have to like try to get right from all the times that I screwed up in the past. Like, no, just start now.
Yeah.
Live in God's grace today.
Yeah.
Are you on the track team?
I'm not.
So you're just running for fun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should join Tina for the half marathon.
You should.
I would do a marathon.
October 15th. Half?
I would, yeah.
Okay. October 15th.
Okay.
Your mom will run it with you.
He will run in my place. No.
Brianna,
you can walk.
I'm going to harass Brianna until she signs up.
I know.
Did I say your name right, Brianna?
I talk about how you harass me, and I love that you harass me for it.
It'll be really, really good for you.
Keep planting that seed.
I think that Shane should harass his mom as though Shane was the mom.
You're doing the run, Mom.
You guys, if you want to sign up for the half marathon too, let me know. It's October 15th. This year it's on a Saturday. I already have a bunch of people signed up.
Yeah,
It'll be a lot of fun.
I'd gladly do it.
And I just got myself a T-shirt, like a tank top, a running shirt, and it says, it's Isaiah 40. It says, they that wait on the Lord shall run and not grow weary. And so that's like that's going to be my running shirt.
It's a good verse to have.
Anyway, I'm good. My brain is so tired, I'm going to take a nap. Do you have anything else? Oh, no, we got lots to say. Hang on. I'm dropping all my stuff. Like and subscribe. 2160 Net listeners, we're so happy we said that.
Yep.
Oh, Wednesday is Ash Wednesday service.
Yep.
If you have not been to one of these services, come in person.
Great.
I've been to a lot of these.
It's an amazing service.
And so a lot of the times I come just because it's the right thing to do, and I'll be here for other people. And every year, I go home just like, whoa.
Yeah, I know. Whoa. Last year I cried during the Ash Wednesday service.
Yeah. There was one year that Dave had like a cross, like a wooden cross, and we had to go up and like hammer a nail in ourselves. And I'm like, what a gimmick, whatever. And I went up there, and I was just surprised at how much it affected me.
Yeah.
And whoo, it's good to realize how little of importance we are.
Yeah. It kind of humbles you.
It really humbles you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you guys are able, come Wednesday night at 6? 6?
6 o'clock.
No dinner this week.
No dinner this week, thank you. And then Saturday is this workshop for end of life planning if you have little kids. I don't know if it's end of life. It's all on the Facebook page.
You'll find it.
Not Facebook. What am I thinking of?
Fellowship of Faith page.
Fellowship of Faith page. It's all there. If you have little kids, it's really a really good idea. Anyway, we're good.
That's all I've got.
We're good. We're glad you guys are with us this week. We will see you next week, and we're finishing up some more Galatians. Sunday. Next week is March. This week is March. Oh my gosh. Ooh, Galatians next week is Galatians Part 2, Life in the Spirit Begins. I think that's going to be a good one.
It seems like it'll be a good one.
Yeah.
Just following the trend.
Yeah. All right, we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah.
Have a great one.